Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Stedman. Today I'll be teaching you how to knit this beautiful hat. It's done with the leftover yarn from my crochet set. I mentioned that I was going to try to make a knitted hat, and here it is. I doubled the yarn and it's super duper warm, especially now for January, the end of January, February, the coldest month of the year here in Canada, and it's perfect. So I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. Please subscribe if you are not already a subscriber and click on the little bell. That way you get a notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my video in Spanish and English. If you received a Spanish video and you want to see in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel that you'll find the English version in there. So to make this hat, I'm going to use this leftover yarn. These were from the sets that I did a couple of, like the last few weeks. These ones, the neck warmer, the hat, the boot cuffs. And I mentioned with the leftover, I'm going to knit a hat to see if I have enough, to see how far these 3 ball of yarn go. And here will be the hat. They are the loops and thread impeccable, medium 4, 100% acrylic. They had 127.5 grams. The color of this one is dark charcoal, gray punch, and petunia. And I'm going to weigh them because since they're just this one, I don't know if I'm going to have enough for the border of the hat. So that's 15 grams. This one 32, and the last one 42 grams. So I hope I have enough. You're going to need a marker, tapestry needle, and scissors. I have these Xiaogu circular needles, and they are the 5.5 millimeter with a short cable, and they are from this set. I will leave the link in the description box below just in case you guys want to check them out. I know they are a little bit expensive, but it's better to have quality to do our work. Okay, so let's start making this hat. So when I made the little ball, I already made it with 2 strands. The other one are single stranded, even that I want to work double by 1 in 1 out. And I'm gonna wrap around in here because I need to leave a tail long enough to cast on 60 stitches plus 1. I really love these needles. I'm doing a bigger project with some other ones, and I'm really happy with them. So we're gonna wrap in here 15 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. 15 and 15, 30. And 30 and 30, 60 plus 61, a little extra for tail. And when I do my slip knot, I always do it in the other side of the yarn, knowing the one that I'm leaving to work with. So make sure that these 2 loops are the same size. And this is the tail, this is the working yarn. And you come here like this, and you start casting on your stitches. So, nice and even. You cast on your stitches whichever way you feel more comfortable casting on. The way you learn. I like to do this long tail cast on, but everybody's different. So, when you have your 61 stitches, I will meet you here. Once you finish casting on your stitches and you do the little knot, I hardly have any tail. I'm trying to save yarn because I want to do the border just with this to see how far I can go with this yarn. So we're gonna do a round of a 1 by 1 rib, but we don't gonna close the circumference. We're gonna do the super elastic cast on. So we're gonna do 1 net 1 purl. You're gonna net the net and you're going to pass the purl without working. So yarn to the front as to purl, you pass your needle as to purl, but you're going to pass it to the other needle without working. Yarn to the back, net, yarn to the front as to purl, and you're going to pass the purl without working. Yarn to the back, net, yarn to the front, pass the purl without work, yarn to the back, net, yarn to the front, pass the purl without working, and like that you're gonna continue until you finish this round. And you started with a net stitch and you're gonna finish with a net stitch. Before I do the last net, I'm gonna place the marker, that way it's on his place, okay? Now we have our marker in place, and now you have to make sure that this is not twisted before you close your circumference, okay? You have to make sure that they're all up like this. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna slip this first stitch to this needle, and this stitch that is before the marker, we're gonna pass it over the stitch and cast it off and pull the tail and close the circumference of our hat. Once you finish closing the circumference and you pull the tail really tight, this stitch here now will count as the first net without working, and then you're gonna bring yarn to the front, and the next one you're gonna do a purl. So now you're gonna purl the purls and pass the net without working. But for the net, you're gonna place yarn to the back as to net, but you're gonna pass the net through the top strand like a purl. Yarn to the front, purl, yarn to the back as to net, and you're gonna pass the net without working. Yarn to the front, purl, and yarn to the back as to net, and you're gonna pass the net without working. And like that you're gonna continue all the way until the end, and you will finish with the purl that is the one before the marker. You're going to pass the marker after you do that purl. Now you're going to net the net and purl the purl for 1.5 inches. And I hope I have enough in here for that. So you're going to net the net, purl the purls, net, purl, net. So I will meet you here when I have my 1.5 inch of the rib stitch one by one. I was so lucky that I had enough to make the 1.5 inch because I only had this little bit left. I still is one strand because I never cut it at the end. So I will measure for you. So 1.5 inch, maybe just a smidge over of 1.5 inch. That is like 4.5 centimeters almost I did. So now from this color we're gonna grab a strand from the inside and one from the outside. and I'm gonna do a knot in this one here. But not tight. Because I'm gonna bring it as close as I can to the needle. I'm gonna slide it to the needle. Okay, and then you can tie a little bit more. Now with the new yarn, we're gonna work nets, all net stitches, all the way around. I will meet you here at the end of this round. I finished the round. I cut some of these because it was too long. I left that tail. Now you're gonna knit all your stitches with this color for a total of 2 inches. Okay, just knit all the way around, and when you measure from the first round in here and you had 2 inches, I will meet you here. Okay, here I have my 2 inches. I knit the first one with this color. Now the second one I'm gonna knit with this one with 2 strands. Okay, make sure that you have 2 strands. Now with the next one with this color, the next one with this color, 1 and 1. Okay, yeah, you're gonna continue until the end. Okay, I finished that round. Now with this color, I'm gonna leave this one in here. With this one, I'm gonna do 1 round. This one is still loose, so I'm gonna pull a little bit, and you're gonna knit this one all the way around, and I will meet you here at the end of this round. Once you finish the round, we're gonna do the opposite. We're gonna start with the lighter color, and then we do one of the dark, one of the light, and one of the dark, and I will meet you here at the end of this round. Once you finish the round, you're gonna pass the marker, and now we're gonna separate the 2 strands of this color. And you're gonna cut one, leaving a tail to lose later, and you're gonna separate one of this one as well, because we're gonna work with 1 strand of each color. Okay, now you're gonna do a double knot with the 2 tails. And make sure that you grab the right strand, because I'm trying to do my knot with the wrong strand of yarn. There we go. Do a double knot, but not too tight that you will shrink the stitch that you already made with those 2 strands. Okay, you want to keep things even. Once you finish, you're gonna knit all your stitches with those two colors. You're going to continue working with those two strands until you have 6 inches. So measuring from the border until here, I have almost 4.5 inches. So you're going to continue until you have 6. And 6 inches is 15 centimeters, okay? So you're going to continue with the two color strand knitting. So I'm one round short of 6 inches, but I'm running out of this, and I want to do a round visible like this on the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate these two, and this one I have a lot more. I'm gonna grab this one, and with the two strands of this one, I'm gonna come here and start working this round. So you're gonna knit all this. If you have more, add the other one, go ahead and continue working until you have your 6 inches, and then you'll do this after, okay? But I have to start a little bit earlier because I don't gonna have enough to do this on the other side. Just at least one round of this. Now I grab these two strands together, and I'm gonna start with one of the light color, one of the dark color, and I think I will have enough for this round. So one of the light, right now I'm a little there, and one of the dark, one of the light, and one of the dark, and like that you're gonna continue all the way until the end. You're gonna finish with the dark color one. So once you finish with that color, if you have not at the end, you're gonna cut, leave it there to lose the tail later. And with this color, you're gonna work until you have the length. I had to work for another 2 inches. That will give me in total over 8 inches long. So I don't want to do the decrease with double pointed needle because I want to make this easy, simple, and fast. So you will work until you have 8.5 inches in total, give or take, and then probably 8.25. I will do to 8.25, and then I will start with a decrease in the top. Okay, so just with this color you're going to continue knitting, and I will meet you here when I have the length. Okay, here I have my 8 inches, and I'm gonna do the decrease. Now I'm gonna do 2 together, 2 together, 2 together all the way around. So the next round will be without decrease, just knit the stitches, and then after that you're gonna do 2 more rounds of decrease. So a total of 4 rounds. So now 1, 2 together, the next one without decrease, and the last 2 decreasing. So when you have done those 4 rounds, I will meet you here. And the decrease always says 2 together, 2 together, 2 together, but for me it will be like a 4 strand together, okay? Because I'm doubling the strands. So I only did 3 rounds in total, because in the third one I hardly can finish it. because the point of the needle, they were really, really painful on my fingers. But with 15 stitches, it's fine to finish my hat. So I cut a tail long enough to pass through those stitches twice and secure it. Now you're gonna loose or tight and loose this tail and the rest of them and here, and the one in the border you're gonna even up your border and this stitch that you'll see here, you'll even them up, and then I will sew the tag and I will show you the end result. Well, this is the end result. Look how beautiful this leftover yarn hat look. I did them double and it's super, super warm. Well, I hope you guys like it and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And if you make this hat and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Esteban Crochet, or my Instagram, Ruby Esteban Crochet. Please share my video with friends and family. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.